Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. I'm having a fabulous one. Today I'm going to do my J-Cat blush review. Now, I know some of the products aren't great, but I've actually been enjoying these blushes. They're pretty nice. They're very pigmented, and the blush brush you use will affect on how it applies. This is one of the ones I have found that is true. I'm going to show you with two different blush brushes. I have my Equal 2 blush. It's very big, and it's not heavily packed, it's light medium packed, I'd say. It's soft. They're both really soft actually. And the other one I'm going to use is actually not a blush brush. I believe it's from Julie's place. I think this is meant to use as a foundation, but their blush brush I use more for highlighting, and that would be this one. This is denser than this is, to be honest. This is yet softer. This is really dense, and I will show you how a really dense brush compared to a really fluffy brush applies this. I'm going to go for one of the darker shades and just show you the differences the blush is. So you can kind of still see the cat. Some of these darker ones I haven't used as much just because they're almost too dark. I swirled, and look at all that color. No, see, with the lighter brush you get all the color pickup, but you have to build. You'll have to take your time and build it. And if you're somebody who likes to build, there, you can start to see it right here, you'll like that. The brush ends up eating a little bit of it. Now, if you don't want to take the time to build, and you're very good and you always like go back and rebuff your face anyways, I would suggest a denser pack. Because I just swirled that in. Again, a lot of color. And look how quicker you get the color than you do with the light brush. You will notice a difference with a more densely packed brush, how much color you can get with this particular one. So if you want a more diffuse, use a less packed, fluffier brush. If you want more color, you want to use a more dense packed brush. I do find that it takes quite a bit. It does stick on the brush. I mean, you'll have product to go for days. It takes forever to come off, and I really have to wash to get the color out. But that's how I feel about that at this point. The brush makes a world of difference on how this particular blush applies. Some blushes it doesn't. This one it does. Quite a bit. Sorry, I'm wiping my arm off, getting those off so I can show you swatches. Y'all know how that is. I have the full color range that Ulta carries. Then it hit me, I'm wondering, I was looking at the back at the numbers, lining them up, and I realized I'm missing numbers. So I went to jcat.com, and sure shoot, there were colors I was missing. And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that. I would have ordered them so I had the full variety. But actually I have two here that's not on jcat.com. So, it kind of works out. I'll probably be getting the other colors because I do enjoy this formula. It's a nice formula. It's smooth without being creamy. There's like just a finger touch, and some of these have more of a sheen. None of them are a high gloss or shimmer in my opinion. At least none of the ones I have. So let's start with the first one. The first one is Sweet Pea Pink 101. It's a pretty peachy pink. They're trying to go for a soft pink, but it comes off a little peach on my skin. It also could be how I pull. My undertone pulls colors differently. Everybody's does a little bit. The next one is Coral Dumpling 103. I'm missing 102. It looks like 102 is like a cross right between these two. That one's definitely more orange. It's definitely a little bit more intense. This is definitely a little softer. The next one is Angel Face 104. Sorry, I know you're getting reflection from my ring light. Definitely quite a bit pinker. They look like they have a sheen, but when you buff them out, the sheen kind of, like I said, some have a slight sheen, but none of them have that high gloss sheen that some have. But that one's definitely pink. It's more of a brighter pink. The next one is 105 Pumpkin. This is the one I originally, when I hauled these, I was missing because it shattered and I had to return it and then reorder it. They gave me a free, so I didn't have to pay 105. Really should be showing you guys the front pans. Look how orange that is. But I like using this as a back blush. And I always talk about how I use back blushes back here and come back with a lighter blush because I have such big cheekbones. See, very much orange. I like using this as a back blush and then coming back in with something like this over the top. Very pretty. The next one is Baby Boo, which is the one I did the blush with the brushes. Blush, how the comparison happened. And that's this one. Very, very pink. Very, very, very pink. And it is 109 Baby Boo. I'm not sure if I showed this. Sorry, you guys. Let's get some color to it. And that's for sure. The next one I have, now this is one of the ones that I couldn't find on the JCat site. They were the last two here were not on the JCat site. It only went to 109. It didn't have 110, 111, or 112, and I have 110 and 112. So I'm not sure if they're discontinuing it or changing it. Who knows? Maybe it's an ultra exclusive, but just an FYI. This next one, it's pretty. It's very mauvey, but it's rose tone mauve, and it's deep. So I kind of like that too. When I put this on, I have to be careful. I tend to use this as a back blusher and then blend it forward with like one of these lighter color, not sheer one, lighter color ones on top. Now this last one I've only used twice. You can actually still see some of the pink overspray all these come with because this is very, very intense. And it's called Pudding Pop 112. So I'm missing 102, 106, 7, 8, 111 for the complete set. So we're gonna do a finger swatch because every time I've used this I've kind of had to really buff it in because it's very deep. If you are deep tone, these three are absolutely going to be fabulous on your face, and they will show up as I've showed with my swatches. If you don't like an intense blush, only go with the light ones, like 1 through 5, because all the other ones are very intense colors, very deep toned. You will definitely struggle, because the first time I was like, oops, and had to really buff it in and buff it up. So I had to buff it out as much as I could to kind of not have a going on, you know what I mean? Streaks across my face. So, very pretty again. The lightest to these beautiful deep ones. This one, like I said, I've used this one, the most I've used that deep one for, I've been using it as an eyeshadow. Gorgeous colors in eyeshadow in my mind. But, yeah, that's my review of the J-Cats. I do like them. Like I said, they're very pigmented. At least the deep ones are. The light ones are not as bad, but they're still pigmented. So you want to go in with a light hand so you can build it if you need to, instead of trying to buff it out. Because especially if you use foundation, you may even have to literally wash off your face and start again. So a light, fluffy brush that's not highly packed would be my suggestion for most people. I just use my Equal Tools one because I like how light it is. You could use like a dome-shaped one, but these are more densely packed than this is. And I found it to distribute the color more, where this one I could get a more even consistency with throughout my face. I mean, I could get it really to blend out. But it's pretty good. Overall, I like the brand. I like the blushes. I've used a few other things. I was going to use the lip product, and I watched a fellow co-YouTuber do her review, and it was not favorable, and she even showed, and I was like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't buy that. I wish I could remember who it was. I'm sorry. I watch so many videos every day, and I I watch so many other people. I forget who's who anymore. I apologize. I'm guessing. I think I know who it is, but I don't want to say the wrong name, so I'm just not going to say anything at all. In the old rule, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Anyways, that's it. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave it down below. And until next time, remember, you do you. Bye.